Good morning. Thank you for being here. This is our opportunity to report the results of the Foreclosure Prevention Phone-a-thon, which we held in this very room in October. October 14th and 15th, this room looked dramatically different, as all of you will remember. And this was our third opportunity to provide a mechanism for homeowners who were at risk to make a phone call and actually begin services provided to them to save their home. This was the third one. Our first one occurred in June of '08. And the second was February 2009, and October 14th through 16th, was our third one. The first one we did last year, we received 1,800 calls. And this was the time when I was trying to convince people of what this was, and that you don't call CET to give money for this one. You're actually calling to actually help someone. And the second one we did in February, and we didn't have to convince people at that point, and we had 3,300 calls for that one. This one in October, we had 4,434 calls. These are unique phone numbers to the hotline, to the phone-a-thon phone number. They do not include those homeowners who were trying to call back when they didn't get through. So what we're able to show, I talked to the other numbers, the other events, because those are apples to apples comparisons. All of these were about unique calls to each event. One of the great things about this one is we had a partnership with the Treasury, the United States Treasury. And with that partnership, it brought lenders to town to actually meet with those homeowners who called the phone-a-thon. We had 9 lenders who appeared 2 weeks later to meet with homeowners. So when the homeowners called, they were actually able to make an appointment if their lender was going to be in town. In order to prepare for that, we had clinics. And our job in these clinics was to prepare that homeowner to meet with that lender. We had 616 homeowners to sign up and attend the clinic. And we had 565 homeowners make appointments to meet with their lenders. Again, we had 9 lenders here, and we typically have about 40 to 50 lenders representing all of the different homeowners who call. 435 homeowners kept their appointment and met with the lenders. We did this at Music Hall on the 30th and 31st. And we were very happy because it typically takes months to get from the point of a phone call to a solution for that homeowner. We are able sometimes to do this within 2 to 3 months, but typically it's 6 to 9 because this problem is big, and we are sending people, homeowners, to these lenders in the same way they're doing it all across the country. So it can get bogged down, as you can imagine. So it was great for us to have this partnership with the Treasury and have the opportunity for lenders to meet with homeowners. We were able to actually know of 120 homeowners saved from foreclosure by the end of the day on the 31st, which is just 2 weeks after the phone-a-thon occurred. So we were able to cut something that typically takes 9 months into 2 weeks. The numbers will continue to increase. Those are just the homeowners who were able to verify that day. We will continue to receive reports from those lenders on the homeowners they were saving, as well as we'll continue to do our work with the longer process of saving homes that way. What we've been able to demonstrate again and again is this mechanism works. It helps homeowners. The partnership helped us to do that quicker. And we're very happy today to thank all of you because your name is on this sign because everyone here contributed in some way to make this event work. And we wanted you to understand that this is actually about saving homes, saving homeowners, helping homeowners, and then in turn helping the community and the city. And you had a role in that. This is our way of saying thank you in a very public way. And I'm going to now introduce Congressman Driehaus, who's been quite busy on our behalf lately, as you all know. But I also want to talk about the fact that my work personally with Steve that's what I call him, it's years ago. And Steve went after the culprits of this issue before it was even in vogue, and has been committed to this for a lot of years. We're very happy he has a place in Congress to work on all of our behalves on this issue. And I'd like to introduce Congressman Steve Driehaus.
Well, thank you very much, Rick, and thanks so much to the Homeownership Center for making this happen, and to CET and for all of the community partners. I was thrilled to be here when we rolled this out with the Department of the Treasury. And it's one thing to be working in Washington and going after the systemic problems that caused this crisis in the first place, and to try to change the regulatory system on Wall Street so that it doesn't happen again. But we all know that the real work goes on here in the community. And it's through efforts like this, where we already know we've saved 120 homes for families, where we know there will be many more down the road because of those 4,400 phone calls. It's grassroots efforts like this that are saving families, that are saving homes. But as I've talked about so many times, this isn't just about those families and those homes. When we prevent foreclosures, we're saving communities. Because when the house next door to you or the house across the street has been foreclosed on and is vacant, that costs you, and it costs everyone on the street. It costs the school down the corner. It costs the small businesses. It costs the churches. What we are doing here in Cincinnati, with the help of the Homeownership Center and so many other institutions that helped, is saving neighborhoods. That's what this effort is all about. So we are now doing our part in Washington to make that happen. And I am thrilled that we could be part of this effort. And I just want to applaud all of the volunteers, all of the financial institutions that participated in this effort, because it is through this type of effort that we are going to keep people in their homes and we're going to save neighborhoods. So, Rick, thanks again. Tremendous work.
Thank you. Thanks very much. As I said, this was our third event, and we have been working with the City of Cincinnati, providing foreclosure, counseling, assistance, and a host of other services to homeowners for a while. We do this activity outside of these events and, of course, in conjunction with the events. And City Manager Milton Dahoney is here to provide some comments, and thanks for all of you as well.
Thank you, Rick. Good morning. I, too, would like to add my comments to those of Congressman Driehaus, to thank you and the Homeownership Center for your leadership on this, all of the partners that are listed on the board in recognition, to give special thanks to you. I would also like to acknowledge the veterans that are with us this morning. I think that's great that we're involving them with this. When you do events like the Phone-a-thon, it's great to have all the phone banks in here, and it's a great process. It brings attention. But the proof is in the pudding, and it's all about the results. And the results that we've gotten from using this tool, I think, have affirmed that this is, in fact, the right mechanism to use to try to reach a broad base of people. And as the Congressman said, we're making a difference in the lives of homeowners. And when we do that, we are, in fact, stabilizing neighborhoods. So congratulations to the partners, to the Homeownership Center. Thanks to CET for their involvement and participation all the way, and we'll look forward to the next one.
Clearly, the city manager was not a part of the conversation I had earlier. We don't say the next one, this is too soon. We don't say the ones coming forward. We don't talk about any future phone-a-thons right now. I have staff in the audience. What are you doing to me? We intentionally scheduled this for the day before Veterans Day in order to not only provide you with the numbers for the success of the event, but also to honor a couple of veterans who made the phone call, Their home is saved today as a result of making that call. And we actually had over 140 veterans who made that call, and we're working with the others. There are 2 who agreed to be public and to tell their stories. And what I'm going to do is introduce Alton Brown, who is going to tell all of us how he served the country, and then he's going to tell the story of how we were able to serve him.
I think serving the country has always been important. I spent 22 years in the military, and I've lived in Cincinnati since 1982. I got caught up in a lot of the, not being in a job for about a year. And when this came up, we received a letter in the mail and talked to my wife about it. I don't think I'm as bad off as some of the other ones are, but it has helped me a lot. It's opened my eyes to a lot of different things that you can do from the aspects of being able to call your creditors, talk to them, everything like that. I do appreciate my wife doing a lot of that. It's been very, I said eye-opening, and that's exactly what it's been. But it has helped us out a lot. We are currently in getting everything ready to catch everything up. Like I say, I don't think we're as bad as some of the other people are, but it has been a real eye-opening and has been a blessing, basically. And really do want to thank you. And hopefully some of the other people will come forward and say the same things. So we'll see. Thanks a lot.
And Robert Pace, our other homeowner, is going to tell a similar story.
Good morning. My story, I'm a veteran, 2-time veteran, total of 7 years in the military. I went in the first time in 80 to 83, and I got out, and it was kind of rough out, so I went back in 89 to 94. And during my first tour, I was over in Germany, and I was in during the height of the Cold War, right up on the border next to Czechoslovakia, when President Reagan got shot, and we thought we were going to war, so it was very tense. My second tour, I was in Fort Lewis, Washington, supported our troops during the first Gulf War. It was very intense. I thought I was going, but I didn't, fortunately. But I would have went if I was called upon to go. My story began, I lost my job about 2 years ago, and I went for almost a year before I could find a job. But I managed to pay my mortgage on time and everything. And then when I did find a job, it was just a part-time job teaching at a Daymore College over in Bellevue, Kentucky. And then I really had some financial difficulty, right, at that time. And I got about 45 days behind in my mortgage payment. And I knew I had to do something. I knew I had to do something, and I had to do it quick. And I remember seeing on channel 48 the 211 number. So I called the 211 number, and they hooked me up with the Home Ownership Center, and I called them, and I was able to set up a appointment with my mortgage, my lender. And I got what I wanted, which was a 3-month deferment on my mortgage, and which I was very excited about that. And when I left out, I would say 20 minutes after I left out, I got a call from a company that I had interviewed for a job for, and they offered me a job all within the same day. And I was like, yeah, this is great. And so, so that let me be able to put some money on the, stack up some money, and then when the mortgage is due in February, I'll be like ready, so. And then a week after that, I got a call from the same company, and they said, would you like to interview for a management position within our company? So I was like, yeah, it's great. So I'm still waiting on that. So, I want to thank Rick Williams and everybody else that participated in the thing at a music hall. And, you know, without them, you know, I don't know where I would be right now. Thanks.
I don't know how many of you have an agenda, but I will say that some people came in today and said, "Where's the cake?" I also have to comment, when we had the press conference where the Treasury was announcing their partnership with us, we invited Mr. Grader to that because he was one of the many partners who had already agreed to work with us on this occasion. And I was having a conversation with Latier Hudson from Cincinnati Bell, and he was saying, you know, it's amazing. I spoke with that guy for over 20 minutes. He never told me who he was. He was just saying he was happy to be here and happy to be a part of everything. And that's how the whole interaction has always been with Mr. Grader, who agreed to not only provide food for all the volunteers, and I will say it's the most popular food. Those chip wheelies are unbelievable. He also provided a great-looking cake, which is right over here for all of us to enjoy, and we are at that point. So thank all of you again for what you did for this event. Thank all of you for being here now. And remember that these two testimonies represent hundreds of people who called, hundreds of homes who will save, and that's what we all did it for. Thank you.